Welcome back. We're here to cover the divine feminine energy. And yes, this reading already, especially from a divine feminine point of view, I'm already really interested to get into it. Now, we have titled this, The Divine is Calling It. It is because really, when I look at these cards, it does appear to be that it's almost like we're jumping into a new chapter, and we're going to explain it. It does look juicy, but it definitely looks as though we are about to move into a different chapter. Okay, so those of you that don't know, I am a psychic medium. I'm also your host. My name is Yildiz, and we are going to look at the cards. Now, your creating energy, especially with the mind-body and the context of the overall energy, we're going to get into the reasons why I'm feeling as though there is this energy where we're being called. And, for a lot of us, especially in the mix of life at the minute, we are getting into this alignment. And again, I do feel it's like your oversouls, your guides, they're coming in, they're trying to get you ready and prepared for a circumstance that is about to shift, especially as we look to the most recent past. And I'm going to pull those up on the screen because we do have it's almost like the twins energy. I look at this energy is the Gemini energy. And we do have radical changes within the divine feminine. And the third eye is extremely activated. And I feel something from the past is coming up. It's almost like our past gifts, past experiences. I'm also getting somebody who wanted to be a bit of a doppelganger to you. There could be a circumstance about that coming up. And I do feel this is a karmic third party energy. It's almost like I'm hearing the term single white female wanting to be like you. There is something to do with that. But again, I am coming back to this crowning energy. And I do feel as though you're intuitively going to know what to do. And your guides have prepared you for this moment. You're going to spring into action and you will be prepared for it. I do feel you're very protected. I also feel that your ancestors are around you at this point in time and you are ascending to this different frequency. And you can be fiercely protected at the moment. Again, I do feel you're being upgraded. I feel as though there's almost like this dynamic where you're being taken to the next level. Your guides are supporting you. Your ancestors are behind you. Your past life energy is coming into play. And we do have almost like the Kundalini awakening through this, especially where it does link to your creativity. I do think it to be quite bold. Now, the interesting thing I'm seeing is, and this did amuse me slightly, more so from a point of view that, yes, as a divine feminine, I get quite tired. Especially moving through the ebbs and flows of ascension. And, sometimes you do get to this space that you're feeling, gosh, is something going to give. It has been transformative, and I'm sure for those of you that watch me, you're more than likely tired, as I am, of the frequency, but definitely ready for those bold new chapters. It does appear to be this card just absolutely baffles and amuses me. We have choices in reverse, okay? We have no choice but to have a brand new beginning, but it's almost like part of our soul ascension process. How would I explain it? Because by no means do I want you to be afraid, okay? Because I'm not really getting that at all psychically. I do get the frustrating point is that we are going to be challenged and moved into a circumstance to deal with. Part of our path, even if we do want to tap out and move away and things have taken ever so long, it's almost like, and I do predict, I do feel, I would not be surprised if I have clients from yesteryears over the last 7 years pop up and come back linking to their path. Almost like they've done a 360 and something in their journey is coming up. And I do think it's because I don't know why I'm getting this page system calling all twin flames. It feels like something is bringing you into the frequency to anchor the energy in and to prepare. And I do think this is quite important. I think it's a very huge signature for you guys. So whatever this is, I really do want you to trust the process. You may need to be prepared. This is a sea of emotions. These are things that have taken a long time, seeds that you have planted. It is your destiny. I'm also getting turtle totem. And we see this off to the left of the card. And this is in the frequency of the divine feminine. I might actually research it. Let's have a look. Would it help if I didn't have the cards everywhere? Symbolizes various positive attributes, including patience, resilience. Well, you've had patience, protection, wisdom, and connection to the earth. It encourages individuals to embrace a slower pace of life, appreciate the present moment, and find strength in their own journey. In some cultures, the turtle is associated with fertility, immortality, and the earth itself. And I'll let you research it more. However, where we look back to this card at the heart of it with the tree, I'm noticing the yellow really coming through. And I was going to mention it earlier, funny enough. And do I believe it came through in Divine Masculine's read? I do think so. Jupiter at the moment is in the house of Cancer. And there is a lot in the lineage that we are, through our chakra systems, going to be moving through. I would not be surprised, and especially because I made reference to the fact that your ancestors is behind you. If there is somebody on the other side, they are communicating with you. They're also referencing, and you see the throat. This is something that's really sticking out to me at this point in time. There can be something that you're needing to express. Now, it can be some old emotions that are going to come up that are quite unexpected, and it's almost like it chokes you up. You can't express. Sometimes when we tune into a person, depending on how they transcend it over, we can actually embody something, and it's almost like them saying, hey, I'm here. And so as soon as you acknowledge it, it will go away. On the other spectrum, I do feel you have a lot to say, and you may need to get it out. This could be through self-expression and the yellow chakra, which is actually going to clear that frequency. And they've said you built it up now. So, sometimes when we look at layman's terms of your ascension process, we tend to think that, it's a blockage, so it means, it's no good. No, sometimes it actually recharges. So this can be a recharging of the creativity forces in your chakra system, especially if you haven't been sharing your body vibration with another individual, romantically entangling. That energy is going to become your very sacred source, and it's going to be able to be pushed into a creative pursuit that is going to elevate you. There could be a circumstance relating to this karmic third party that can be coming up around children. Okay, we're going to get into this part. Interesting. Okay, you find at times, especially in the ethers, that there could be, for some of you, it's almost like you're going to have to really trust your instincts. Certain zodiac signs are going to find this more difficult transitioning through this year. But if you can just move into that becoming a natural norm, you're going to be able to tune into this individual. For some of you, it could be that it's almost like you feel their frequencies offline. You can't sense them. You don't know what's going on. It could be very dead in the water, so to speak. But for some of you, I do feel you could just in general be feeling as though this person doesn't really show a lot of emotions, and you can't quite gauge where it's at. But I do see this very interestingly shifting very quickly. So I do feel if your energy is kind of one vibration, midweek there is a distinct possibility it can shift very radically. And this could be either in the 3D relating to this person if you're in communication, or in a circumstance where you're picking it up through the ethers, but there's definitely a shift, which does directly mean there is a shift in your connection. Now, I do see this person being extremely brave, but they're also referencing, and this is very separate, your guides referencing, you need to go into your heart space and realize the truth, okay? Because there could have been a lot going on in your life where you have second guessed who you directly are. And your guides are saying you need to come back to source. You need to come back to the connection of who you are and remember who you are. This connection is divinely guided. And for you, it can be that you're having to be the hero. That doesn't mean you have to do this journey alone. That's not what they're referencing at all. But they're referencing that when you believe it is. And it was weird because literally this week, I do 2 jobs. I'm sitting there multitasking. It was like, gee, I really need to connect in with Divine Feminine. And I was going to try and put a post up on YouTube to give you guys a message. And it was funny because it was almost like, for me, especially from a spiritual point of view, I was having the same revelation. Especially looking back to my journey, how the separation stage went, how it came back into communication and reunion, and, what that actually looked like. And I think there was this pivotal point where I put myself metaphorically in the naughty corner. And that was because I had a lot of trauma to actually clear. And forever and a day, I directly remember, and I still do go in and out. Don't get me wrong, but it's not the same. It's a different circumstance. So we all are this year, ebbs and flows. We will have shadow work because we do look at our journey as an ongoing process where we are constantly ascending. We're evolving and changing. But way back when, dark night of the soul energy, the choice to actually be alone is so that I wouldn't look outside myself and I'd be able to clear the energy, not add to the problem, and really work through it, which I can say was very well, it was a good investment. Let me put it that way. Separately, there was a pivotal point I came to where I sat there one day and I went, what we believe and what we vibrate, we achieve. And I thought, when I was very comfortable and calm and I could get away from the wounds in my head and the stories I tell myself, I really could see the hay for the clouds. And there was a huge calm that waved over me in saying to myself, look, you do actually know how this is going to go. You do know you're going to have communication. How it's going to play out, I had totally disconnected from. And I was trusting the process. But, it's also, if you're ever trying to manifest anything in life, if you don't believe you're deserving of it, you really do push it away. And so this understanding and comprehension that I was a constant manifester, which a lot of times empaths are, but what we can tend to attract due to fear-based frequencies and past tense experiences is a lot of bad luck. And so that in its own was causing issues with me attracting. If anything, everything I feared I attracted, and everything I wanted I didn't believe I could have, I would lose. So I had to do a pole flip. And I see Divine Feminine here doing this. Becoming the hero doesn't mean going into the consciousness of saying, I've been abandoned, because then we're still working through that. But really going into the cycling through, if we are in that stage, it is not wrong. It is part of the journey. It's part of our shadow work, and you have to be gentle to yourself. But I see you coming up trumps there. I see you actually moving through very boldly and very strong. And I do see this is in an energy that is being attracted back to you. And I do see this person, it's believing that if somebody loves you, they will fight for you, but it shouldn't need to be a fight. And I do see that. Again, confirmation of the outcome card. You are not going to be alone, okay? You don't have to be alone. You are not going to be alone. But when you do have this bottom row here, both the red cards, by the time you get just before the outcome card, you're in the masculine feminine energy. This is the Trinity energy. This is the energy where you are in harmony. And I feel it's by balancing that and realizing you can be both masculine and feminine inside yourself, and you can lower your swords so you can have the outcome you deserve and believe, and you will achieve. Now, if you do want to subscribe for next week's update come through, very separately, we do have super chats within our membership. We do have that advertised via our membership, so you can come through to the website, read up on all the information of what it is. Our second round offers list is open. Jump on the list. If you do need a booking, we do have bookings via the website. However, they do fill up very fast. So try and jump on as soon as possible. Otherwise, I will see you for the Super Chats online at Yildiz Readings 5D. Take care.